don't wanna sleep in, cause I got something to prove. I gotta take what I hate and finally make a move.
We're back and we are ready to attack the betting board here with the college basketball show.
Who's singing that? Who is singing that fucking thing that you just did?
It's not who you think it is. Is that fair?
that was wild. I can't believe I just fucking heard that. Wow. God damn. Okay, carry on.
Digging the vibes, my guy. I mean,
I digged it. I was taking it back.
Who's it sound like there though? It's not them, whomever that sounds like. I know a lot of people ask me too, like, is that so and so? And no, it's not. It's not Imagine Dragons. It's not Miley Cyrus. It's free content from YouTube is what it is. And speaking of free
that's
content,
Miley Cyrus. There's a problem, I guess, but I don't know.
Sounded like her when she was. You ever see the show? She was sitting down on the couch and doing a little interview with. I think it was Ariana Grande. And that was when she was in her other stage, and she was full out hitting on Ariana Grande. And it was sexy and creepy. It was the intersection of sexy and creepy to watch Miley Cyrus hit on Ariana Grande. It was like a little overdue for me. Is kind of what you would think it was really hot, and it really just kind of was creepy. So anyhow,
I missed that one. I'll have
to find it and send it to you. I didn't expect to kick off the morning show talking about Ariana Grande getting hit on by Miley Cyrus, but as hot as you think it would be, it was just kind of not. It was when she had her short hair day. Ariana Grande, but listen.
All right, we're gonna talk about fucking Wicked or something, or these movies they're in. Let's go. Let's get the fucking basketball.
Wicked if I'm not mistaken, Wicked got an Oscar snub, right? Didn't they get the snub? And I'm not sure. I don't follow any of that stuff.
Makes sense.
You're watching the wrong show for that.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Let's get to the fucking money. God damn.
Let's get to the money. We got a big lineup for you guys today. It's a huge day. This is the best day of the week. Now, this time of year has turned and NFL is gone, so we get a huge Saturday slate. I don't know what the NFL was doing last night, but easy casher on the Columbus Blue Jackets -1.5. It was the only game, so I was 100% in the NHL last night, but man, listen, we got a full board tonight. We got a ton of college basketball. We've got a ton of NHL as they get ready for the winter break. We got the ton of NBA. We got a 13-game UFC card on top of it, but we're here to talk to you guys about college basketball. I think I got 10 games that made my radar this afternoon or this early morning here, 11 a.m. Eastern at Sports Money. Of course, we got Mac Daddy in the house. I've been working on it, C-Mac. God damn it. I'm ready to go.
You're getting it down. You know what? Last Saturday, a lot better than the past Saturdays. It wasn't crazy, right? But pretty good. Winning day, we'll take it. And this week, though, I'm humming here. College basketball, dialing me. It's dialed. We're about to hit fucking February. I'm feeling dialed, Michael.
Can you believe it is January 31st, the last day of the first month of the new year? Is that surprising to you?
No, it all just rolls over now,
There's never a downtime, is there? The only downtime seems to be around the 4th of July when we're busy with barbecues and families, because the only thing you've got going is NASCAR and PGA and soccer. But speaking of NASCAR, I know you're a big NASCAR fan, C-Mac. I don't know if you're going to make your way out to the East Coast, but it sounds like there's going to be a little racing on the streets of Washington, D.C. in honor of America's 250th birthday. So we'll get some best bets for it. I don't know if I'll be there.
I'm thrilled. That sounds like – is the UFC going to be fighting then too, right, at the White House?
I think they're after that, but I saw the rendering of the stadium that they're trying to build. Dana says 80,000. Trump says 100,000. The South Lawn's.
Of course, that's what he says. Yeah. This has always got to be higher.
80,000 is good.
Holy shit.
That'd be pretty cool, though. I've seen some of the renderings, the pictures, if you will, and they look a lot of fun. But hey, I had a good college basketball day myself yesterday. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to attack. We got a 12 o'clock slot that's coming through the window. You guys welcome in. If you have questions about any games, drop them in the chat. We will do our best to answer them for you. We will run down the slate as we do. We'll kick it off at 12 p.m. And as always, a beefy 12 p.m. slot. We got some MEACs, we got some Max, we got some Max, we got some Conference USAs and the rest here, and we will just kick it right off. We've got a bunch of games. UNC Greensboro and Citadel. I'll tell you what, kind of a last minute addition was right off the top of the board here. I'm going to go with the 7-15 Citadel Bulldogs. I liked them that last game. I thought their size and body, it was VMI, right? I mean, they're playing the Keydets. But they were 2.5-point favorites, and they beat the shit out of them. And it wasn't even close. From the very start of the game, they were up they went on a 10-point run right off the gate. And what was impressive to me the most is that was the revenge spot for VMI, and they busted up VMI at VMI, the Military Institute, 2 weeks beforehand. Come back out there and fire up on them again. So last time they played UNC Greensboro, it was a 69-66 game at UNC Greensboro. So I think this is the bounce back revenge spot. You got 2.5 points in the back pocket on top of it. I don't think you need them, but I think this is a really good spot to take this Citadel team who, for all intent and purpose, I think matches up pretty even with this UNC Greensboro team. And frankly, I'm just not in the UNC Greensboro business this year, CMAC. 8-14. I don't know. I mean, I guess the problem I have is you don't win at home. You don't win on the road. Where are you winning? They're 5-13 overall against the spread. It's a fade team for me, especially in the favorite role. They're 1-5 when you put them down there as a favorite. So give me Citadel. Give me the plus 2.5. Can I get you on some Citadel business, C-Mac?
No. Nah. This seems like a pretty good spot for him. If I were to take it, I don't think both of these defenses are good at all. They give up easy buckets. I just thought the total was a little bit too high. That's where I was looking at when we were going through this game. I still think this could get over this number. It's just the early start. We already talked about that. Like, I gotta love an over to be on it. But I think this game could get it. Greensboro's been really good over team, all season long, put up a bunch of points. It only happens if one of these teams has a bad. I always, of course, unless one team scores 90. You can get that over. You need both teams to fucking score when we talk overs. So unless you just want to get on one side here with the team total. So, yeah, I have no trust in either. I mean, I get Citadel. I just can't back them. Not even catching 2 points at home. If they were catching 6, maybe different. So lean over.
Lean to the over, and I'll take the Citadel plus 2.5 to kick our betting card off here Saturday morning. It is October, January 31st, and we're ready to talk some ACC combat with you guys. Speaking of a combat evening, Duke and Virginia Tech are going to go to war here. They're going to go to war on the Virginia Tech campus, and a line that opened at minus 10.5. It has moved up to 13, and now we're seeing some 13.5. Albeit though they're kind of false fronts out there. It's a little bit more juiced on the Virginia Tech plus 13.5 side. 146.5 have moved to 148.5. So we've got about 68% of the bets in the cash on the Duke side of things, correlated line movement. We've got 78% of the bets and 78% of the cash on the under in that Duke and Virginia Tech game. It has moved up to 148.5. C-Mac, kick off your betting card here. Talk to us about how you're going to battle in this game.
Yeah, I like Virginia Tech. This is moving to Duke. I get it, though. I mean, this Duke team's really good. And when it goes, I think it's correlated. I think if you like Duke, they win big, they cover. This game probably stays under. Virginia Tech has problems defensively. That's, look, they're at home here. So, catching 12.5. Yeah. But I think they can hang in. It's just a sleepy spot. Duke, after the big win, just smashed their rival, right? Louisville, tad bit, I guess. Mm-hmm. Not a real rival, but huge win. They win by 30 points. Everything's so good. Early start time. They've been that good. They're that dominant. Hoosiers that good. Yada, yada, yada. Fuck them. Give me Virginia Tech here. I took 12.5. So these are spots I need, Mike. These are spots that have me circle the early start here. And Duke could really, if they do cover, it's their defense. And I get that. But, when I talk about I'm going to put my money on it. So it's a loser. So be it. Let's get it. I gotta grab something. What? You love Duke?
No, I love the breakdown. Everybody loves Duke. Everything Duke. Fuck them. I'm on Virginia Tech.
Fuck Duke. I'll be right back.
I'm with you. I'm in that fuck Duke category. I've never been a Duke guy. For that matter, I'm not a big UNC guy. So when everybody gets jacked up about the UNC Duke battles there, what do they call that? The battle of bullshit? I mean, Tobacco Hill, whatever it is. I don't really, I could care less. But I do care about this Pittsburgh and Clemson game at 12 p.m. Eastern as well here. A line that opened at 11.5. It is starting to come down a little bit. There still are some 11.5s out there. There are 10.5s out there now. You have 65% of the bets, 78% of the cash on the Clemson Tiger side of things here. This total went from, 135.5. It's sitting at 135.5. I guess it went nowhere with 72% of the bets and 70% of the cash on the over in this game. Kind of an interesting spot that the public is hammering in. And this is kind of what got me interested in this game. When you see a side here, or the total specifically, getting a ton of love to the over, it's a divisional battle, a conference battle, and it's not moving. Kind of says to me, someone's not going to perform. And then when you look at these two teams, I mean, is it 17-4 Clemson that, nationally ranked? What are they, 22 overall, coming off of, when you think about the Clemson side of things and you look at their record here, I mean, yeah, it was a road trip against Georgia Tech, but they have a business. They were laying 8.5 on the road. They went down there. They busted them up real nice. Like, they get covered against the spread out there. They're 4-1 in their last 5. And then you look at the Pittsburgh side of things here, and if there's ever a chance to sell high on a Pittsburgh team, and kind of going back to where I was saying, who do you trust and who don't you trust? I don't trust the Pittsburgh side of things here. Yes, they won 80-76 against Wake Forest, but the majority of these Pittsburgh spreads are the 1.5 and 2.5s. And what that tells me is, Vegas doesn't trust this team either. And for that reason, and the uncertainty that, maybe it's the previous getting bitten by these fuckers that I have here, I'm willing to fade him. In fact, not only am I willing to fade him because I don't trust him, I see the line not moving to the over and someone's not going to score. But when you look at the history between these two teams, go all the way back to 2015. I know you're going to say, well, they're different players. C-Mac, they're different players this year than they were 2015. I get it. But over the last 10 years, the history has shown that Clemson has put the boot right to the asshole of Pittsburgh here. 13-0, 13 straight covers, 13 straight wins. I know it's a lot of points. I think it's a lot of points for a reason. So give me Clemson, and I will lay the 10.5 points. C-Mac. I want the full game, though. I don't want to fuck around with this first half shit. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I can't take nothing in this game. Line's just too big. Maybe it's right where it should be. Pitt can't be trusted as a road dog. That's how I feel. So I get it. But Clemson's kind of been a team I don't want to lay points with at home. And it seems like they could win by 15, 20, especially if Pitt has a bad day shooting, which has been the struggles that they've had. Turnover. I mean, there's a whole lot of problems with Pitt. But I just thought it was too big. One thing with Clemson, I tried not to lay points with them at home. They played just a little bit closer, tighter games at times against decent teams. I don't know if Pitt's a decent team, but I couldn't do it. So good luck.
Good luck, says Mickey Mac. Daddy, we got Georgetown, Butler, Marquette, Seton Hall. Take a park the bus over on the Cincinnati-Houston game because I got a double dipper for this game as well. Look, I've told you guys before, and we'll cover a couple of them here today, but there's 4 teams, C-Mac, that I've got circled as under squads here. And frankly, as of late, one of them has kind of let me down here, and that is Houston. But I like Cincinnati unders, I like Houston unders, I like West Virginia unders, and I like Virginia unders if they're at their own barn. This one's got me a little perplexed, though, because here comes Cincinnati storming in on the road. They were getting a full 14.5 points. 71% of the bets, 80% of the cash on the Houston side of things. Yet the lines come down a full point. And the line's gone up. The total, the back number went from 132.5 to 135.5 with 74% of the bets and 68% of the cash on the over in this game. We're seeing it continue to move in that direction here. But look, I get it. You're seeing a Houston team that can go out there and explode. They're an 80-point scoring squad, almost on average. The challenge for me, though, is can Cincinnati meet the bill here? And I think the answer is no. In fact, I think this game for Cincinnati has a similar look and feel to what Arizona had there back in January 21st. So they played them 10 days ago in Arizona. Cincinnati did. And they just got busted up. I mean, the line's the same. It was 13.5. The only difference between that game and this game is that total was 152.5. It was an easy under. but it was also an easy under for the Cincinnati team total. And they marked this Cincinnati team total at 60.5. So I thought, you know what? I love the unders in Houston. I'm going to take the full game under at 135.5, but I think Cincinnati is going to be stuck in the mud in this game here. I'd be surprised if they get to 50. So I like this. I think this is an easy team total under for Cincinnati. I think Houston rips the barn doors off these guys here, but I still think they can find a way to keep it under 135.5. And I don't know if the reverse line movement scares me or not here. I guess it's not really reverse. The public's pounding the over in this spot here, but I think that's recency bias based on what they've seen out of this Houston Cougars team. You think that's the case?
Exactly. Yeah, I think that's exactly where it is. And I think this is the team Houston wants. You want the under with. That's why you're looking at it. Like, you know what's going on here. And people thought it was just too low because Houston's been going over. But at home, they should dominate. This Cincinnati team, all the things that happen with them, whether home or on the road, but especially on the road, is they struggle. They struggle from three. They're not very good. They could struggle, have stretches where they just can't get a bucket. Not the best free throw shooting team for years. And it's shown. This team just can't score. They're just playing an offense where it's not quick. So I get it. This seems like I don't think they get to 60, but that's just dangerous, the team total, I think.
It's low.
For me. Yeah. You know what I mean? When I start messing with those, I'm like, I got to know this team totally shuts them down. But as you saw, like West Virginia, some of these games, it could definitely happen for Houston. But they're playing at a little bit different pace. Offense a little bit, a little more up and down from over there. But I still think they have a really good defense. So, I get it. I like it.
I'm going to get in there. I'm officially laying the lumber or dropping the under in this game. So we will keep on cruising. I looked at that Texas Tech and UCF game, but I couldn't look. I can't get this. I can't peg this UCF team, C-Mac. That's the problem I'm having is the consistency or lack thereof with these guys. They're 16-4. So is Texas Tech, but it seems like, man, whether I bet the under, it goes over. I bet UCF. It's the other side of things here. I was leaning on the Texas Tech side of things, but these two teams are like dead nuts, right? They're both 10-10 against the spread. They're both 7-8 at home. They're both 3-2 on the road against the spread. I guess the advantage lies with UCF as a dog. They're 6-3 versus Texas Tech in the favorite role at 6-8. But man, for being the home team, were you surprised at that 5.5? Did that one kind of catch your eye at all?
Yeah, I want UCF. I think I'm going to stay off. I think this is the spot, though, for them. They're this team that it's like as soon as they have a big win or a decent win, then they go on and just get killed by 30 on the road. Like, if you want to back them, you want to back them at home. So I think this is a spot. Texas Tech, of course, has a great offense as well. I mean, that's why we have this total here at 159.5. They should be easy buckets in this game. Texas Tech, good offense, shoot almost 40% from three. UCF as well shoots it well from deep. And both defenses, I still think Texas Tech they're a team that could be dangerous in the tournament, but their defense has got to get a little bit better. You know what I mean? To make a good run, I think. So it'd be UCF or nothing in this game. I'll give you one I'm on here. This team had its worst showing. We kind of saw this with Pitt, and then they bounced back at home after just getting drilled. We're talking ass drilled, bad. No Vaseline. South Carolina, I think they play way better here at home after just getting shellacked. What was this final score? 95-48 to Florida. I think they're a lot better. One thing, LSU, just not very good. 3 straight losses. This game could be tight, but I'll take this home team plus 2.5 all day long. I just think this is even one when I was going through it last night. I don't do a ton, but I think this could be the first half. Just playing a little bit after just getting killed. You got to shoot the ball better. Here, I want to go through the numbers. So I was looking at how bad they were, in that game. Like 3 from 20 from 3. They went 15 of 58, 26% from the field. I just think the offense is a lot better against an average LSU team. today. So South Carolina. I'm on it.
All righty. South Carolina. The old Palmetto
Gamecocks.
State. The old Gamecocks. Shout out to everybody that's here with us. Appreciate you guys joining. Smash the thumbs up button if you're just checking in. I'm going to check into C-Mac here and see if he can get back in on his boys. The one, the only. I mean, listen, they're playing the mighty Dolphins. They're going on the road, but can I get you in the Stonehill business at +4.5? Can I get you in there in an NEC battle, potentially saying the wrong team is favored here? We have zero line movement on the Lemoyne side of things. -4.5 it opened up at. That's where it's sitting. 65% of the bets, 79% of the cash are on Lemoyne. Zero movement, not a nilch. The total's gone up 2 points. 69% of the bets, 67% of the cash in there on this side of things here. Look, you got Lemoyne coming in off of Stonehill coming in off of back-to-back wins. An 8-14 team. Are they catching their stride versus the Lemoyne team that just took an L? They're a 500 squad. 4.5 points seems like a pretty light number, all things considered. Is it that LIU Sharks 83-61 beatdown? The Sharks and the Dolphins. The Sharks definitely ate up them Dolphins that last game go round out there, but Lemoyne's coming into this thing looking pretty good. I get it. You know, they play that Sharks team 83-77 at home. They have a strong home edge. It looks like Wagner. They play them 69-67, but 4.5 points for Stonehill. Road teams off that home game find a way to, fight the fight, I guess is the way to look at this thing. 170-116. This conference, particularly in the NEC, the first road game after a home spot seems to be a good fire on opportunity here. So at +4.5, C-Mac, Stonehill. Are you a Stonehill guy today?
I like it. I mean, I haven't bet it here. I think the points are live here. The little bit of struggle is I think Lemoyne's a little bit overrated. On the road, but what makes me think the points you're live is because this game's going to be slowed down. I'd look at the under in this game. They don't want to get it up and down. Stonehill wants this game in the 60s. We've seen that consistently since the last 3 weeks, really that everyone's been playing here. Everything has gone way down. The pace of play. So that makes the points valuable, you know what I mean, in a game like this. So I get it. I wanted to be on them the other day. They covered. It's kind of one of those ones when you check these, like there's one later today, the late time is Sac State, a team that's just been on the road kind of all year long. They don't play a ton of home games, getting smacked, right? And then why are they just +4 the other day against Montana State? Or today they play Montana? I think it's 4 again. These are the teams that just you didn't touch all year long. Stonehill that I haven't really, Stetson, USC Upstate, all these teams from year in year out where you want to take them in conference play. It's really at home for me. But yeah, get it. I like the points. I like the under there.
You just got in my head with my Stetson. I did a nice job staying off those guys all season long.
That's beautiful. There you go.
Now they're playing. Now I'm going to be firing on them all next week. Watch, wait and see.
We'll
I got
it in the right spot.
Guys. Yeah. I'm going to go back to the ACC. I talked a little bit about it earlier. Virginia and Boston College. Now I like the Virginia squad when they're at their home court. It seems like their speed, the tempo and the pace of basketball that they play, the size advantage. That's a hard fighting team out there. But Boston College comes in here. They're just 9-10, and Virginia ranks 17 in all of the land. A big spot for a big squad, but I like the under in this game. I told you guys I'm looking at some unders. I think this is one of those spots where you look at it and say 139.5 is the current number that we're seeing out there. It's got 73% of the bet, 71% of the guy. Excuse me, it's a big number. I mean, you're laying 13.5 on the road. I don't know if I trust Virginia enough to lay that kind of point spread here, but it's kind of an early sleepy time slot where they're going up into the Northeast, and it just feels like Virginia should continue to do what they do, dominate, dictate that speed, dictate that tempo, use their size here. Ranked college basketball teams coming off of or playing unranked have a 9-1 edge over the last 10 games against the spread. So, listen, Virginia's going to probably come out there and steamroll this Boston College team. They're just standing in the way. The thing is, I like the under, especially Boston College. I like Virginia under CMAC when they're at home, but I can get there because Boston College runs a 4-9 under trend right now on their home court. So I think this is a nice little under spot at 139.5. You agree?
Yeah, the defense I think still kind of there for Boston College at home. When they need it, and they don't want to play fast. This Boston College team, they're not a blistering pace. They really have two guys that play it. They don't have really a deep bench, but Hand and Payne are like their offense. Like these guys, it seems like both those guys have to, be near 15 and 20 for sure, because they're going to play 35 minutes. And this is where you want them at home for sure. Virginia off the crazy game. It goes to OT. Did that game even go to double OT? Just went to one OT. I think it went to two OTs.
I think it went to two OTs as well. Now that you say that.
Yeah, the Virginia Notre Dame game, that total went wild, went way up, about 5 points right before, and then it hits it right on the number right before, regulation goes OT and flies over. Everyone who's got an over ticket OT, you got to feel alive, right? I might get a little bit of luck. Is this luck? Or is this skill? I don't know. It's gambling, but
who's betting fucking overtimes in college basketball?
No, just if you have your over, to each their own. I don't know, but I just meant if you had the over in the game and you get to OT, that's you're happy. So I agree, under here. I take Boston College. I think Virginia, this is just kind of a flat spot for them. I wanted to double check. I mean, here, last year they won by 4. 72-68. Boston College beat them the year before, 63-48. I mean, I don't know. Just seems like a sleepy spot after the OT game. So BC, and I like the under as well.
JW, that's a great question. I will have to try to chat GPT it later on. He says, how many college games reach overtime? Feels like we've had a few lately. Seems like that whenever I'm on a dog, it goes to ends up going to an overtime.
Oh,
and
don't talk about it.
I don't want to be that guy that says overtimes or where dogs go to die, but it seems like that certainly has been my calling card as of late. I would like to shout out absolutely nobody and pat myself on the back for that big Michigan beatdown yesterday. I did call out boots to ass. Speaking of a Big Ten battle, and conference rival hasn't won on the road court, blah, 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 fucking blah. And Michigan went out there and ripped their faces off and then smacked them with them. Smacked them with their own faces, C-Mac.
Well, smacked them early, give it back up, then kind of win the game. Yeah. Great job. I didn't bet it, so congrats. Michigan. They're your top team. Who's your top team?
Oh, there we go.
Mike.
I'm gonna be.
Who's your top team?
Gosh.
Is it Duke? Is it Arizona? Arizona the best team in the country?
No, I think Arizona is probably the best team in the country. Yeah, I'm not a Duke guy. I don't care what their record says. I don't care what they end up doing overall in the course of the season. I just probably won't take much Duke at all. So it's not my cup of tea. It's not my cup of tea. It's not my cup of coffee either, for that matter.
What's in your cup of coffee?
Nebraska with a question mark. My coffee is heavy with Kahlua.
Kahlua. Okay, Kahlua and coffee. Yeah?
No adult vitamins in this thing as of yet, but was it you just talking about Stetson? I was looking at this North Alabama side of things here. I mean, it's a short little number for being on the road, but it started at 3.5. I know the number's coming in. It's gone down to 2.5, and I believe I saw a nice little edge here for something in my eye. Thought I saw something to the, I can't recall if it was overs in this spot, but the total's come down from 146.5 to 144.5. 97% of the bets, 97% of the cash are pounding on this over. I say pounding. I mean, it's 1,200 tickets in the sample, but
I was about to say,
get in on
how many tickets are on there?
Yeah. It's a monster. I mean, they're going to take the line down because they're getting shook right now. But 2.5 points seems like a good number to get involved with on the North Alabama side. Did you have any chance you looked at this game in your purview?
No, I think the over would be the play. I really do. I think they're North Alabama. If they have success and cover or win this game, and here's the problem: we talk about Stetson. As soon as they're laying points even at home, where they've been I think they're 6-3 at home. I gotta stay away. There's just when it's small schools like this that you do not trust. I'm not going to lay points with them. Especially on a card like this. I'm just not going to do it. But I think there's definitely points. North Alabama. One thing is the lapses on defense. I mean, both and Stetson. I mean, when you go through their overall rankings, 343, but just they struggle. These small schools struggle. They don't have the biggest guys. There's turnovers everywhere. It can be. It's a fun watch, but it can be crazy, especially when you got money on it or bigger money. It drive you to an early grave. But North Alabama as well, just not a team that plays much defense. But you know what they get in the end with these, which I want to double check, is some of these conferences I want to play to it because these teams get to the free throw line. These teams aren't, I guess, too bad. They make 15, 21. What's Stetson? A little lower here. It's only 66%. See, that's why I don't want them as a favorite. Like teams like this that don't make free throws, don't get to the free throw line. So get it with North Alabama. I'd go be on the over.
Give you guys a little leanage on that side of things here. The old leaning tree. Ramon Scott says Arizona's his best team in the country. I don't disagree. Ramon Scott's a wise man. And speaking of a wise man here, Hampton and Towson, the wise man is going to take Towson. If you watch your good money here, no read on the ticket counts here, but I'll tell you this is a tailor-made spot. It doesn't come around that often, C-Mac. And the the fact is you got to have a team that goes under less than 71% of the time. So you need a team that runs with pace. These teams get low totals anyways. The point differential of the opponent in the same conference has to be 56 points. Point differential has to be 56. That's where Hampton finds themselves right now. It's a 70-30 run to be playing on the favorite. It's the home favorite in Towson. It's won 10 straight times. It's one of them loony little spots out there, but this line's moved from 8.5 to 7.5. This is one of those spots where I'm going to fade the line movement here because I think we're just getting the right team at a better price. I've been kind of a closeted Towson guy this season. I've been taking some lumps. They came off of back-to-back losses. They're not even losing to really good teams. I mean, NCA&T, they're laying 7.5. They lost by 7. They lose by 1.5. Or I'm sorry, they're 1.5 point favorites. They lose by 9 on their own home court to UNC Wilmington. But I think it's for those reasons. I don't want to be in the Hampton business. They got busted up by. I mean, this team can't score. And 58-50 at Drexel, and there's that UNC Wilmington team that might just be closeted best team in the conference here. But I'm gonna take Towson. I'm gonna lay. I got minus 7.5 on the Towson business.
I have nothing in that game. Nothing.
Nada. Well, we got plenty of games.
Yeah.
Plenty of action here. Let's keep buzzing down the line here. There's that NCA&T and Drexel game. 7.5s and 8.5s. No part of that game. Maybe the over. I would consider maybe the over in that spot. But, I had some Central Connecticut action the other day. I see they're playing the Long Island Sharks. I really don't want to be involved in that business either, though. Plenty of afternoon action. But what about this UNC Georgia Tech game? Any interest in laying 10 points for this UNC team on the road?
No, this is a stay off. I went through this game yesterday. It's just difficult here. I think North Carolina could go in there, win and cover. They're just not a team I want on the road laying this. Like, I thought the best spot was that the other day at Notre Dame, where they played Notre Dame. Notre Dame team that struggles to score and just got their ass kicked in. And then they win again. So they beat Virginia right after that. And Georgia Tech still has problems. They just haven't been very good. The NC State win was solid. This is a team, though, normally I'd look at home. It'd be Georgia Tech or pass. Yeah, I just couldn't get there with them. I don't have any confidence. When I don't have a confidence with the team, I'm not going to put my money on it.
You asked me about like Duke and
Yeah.
my feelings around this. Part of the reason is with this UNC and Duke is I just feel like they're so public that two things. One, they're so public. I feel like there's a tax inherently built into these guys here, whether it be a point or two. It's like just enough because they know that the general public's going to go swallowing up a UNC line. It doesn't matter what they put out there, right? And the other is I had a buddy whose fucking ex-girlfriend was so UNC. She was like a dude. She was a fucking women's what do they call that? The women's lacrosse player, field hockey and lacrosse. And man, she was jacked, and she would get in your fucking face and point the finger and just gets every time UNC played Duke. I mean, she was all in, and it just drove me fucking crazy. So, another reason why I'm not into those teams. It doesn't take much to turn me off of a team. And it doesn't take much to turn me off of a chick either. But Arizona State, a 2 p.m. game. Speaking of them Arizona boys out there, look at, man, them cats here. You got the Arizona State Sun Devils. Pretty cool hockey arena. Cool to see an Arizona State college hockey team. But as far as the hardwood's concerned, 16.5 have moved to 13.5 out there. And they've got 51% of the bets and 47% of the action. I have found this Arizona State team to be a little sneaky. They're 11-10 on the season. Yeah, they got busted up by that UCF spot out there, but they still covered. I mean, they've covered back-to-back. They're 3-2 in their last 5. It's just a sneaky team out there. Now, when I say sneaky and you look at this line, Arizona State played at Arizona on January 14th. So they've got about, 2 weeks, a little over 2 weeks in their back pocket. They were getting 21.5 points. They lost by 7. They had no problem scoring. And now the line, the bookmakers, maybe it's because they're switching from home to road here, but I mean, they took this thing down 7 full points. Do you think they overreacted to that previous beatdown or lack thereof, C-Mac, or you think this number's pegged at the right spot?
I think it's right where it should be, where this is dropped. I can't take Arizona State. I want to take them. This is a rivalry. If Arizona plays at the best, they cover. But do you want them? You know what? They haven't played back-to-back road games. They've had days off, though, right here, where they've had 4 or 5 days off since BYU. Kind of cruising in that game, not cruising, but then giving it up late, basically goes down the last shot. They end up winning and covering, by the way. So it's just, these are ones, no way. I mean, if you think Arizona State's sneaky enough, if there's one game, this place should be at least somewhat loud for a team that's 11-10 is today, right? Who doesn't have the bigger bullseye here? Who's got the bullseye on the back? Team that's undefeated, cruising, right? I look out. These are just, spots. If you like Arizona, you were talking about UNC. I'm sure the parlay people love it. So parlay all the favorites. Parlay them all together.
What's going to be the parlay killer of the day? Fresno State.
Yeah, which one will be the killer though? If you want to put all those together.
UNC.
Maybe.
I hate them both. Fresno State and Air Force. Here's a game. The only reason I talk about this is because I would fade both these teams if I could. I don't want to be in the Air Force business. Also, look at that Fresno State, though. I had a big play on Fresno State the other day, and they just bit me in the ass. And now it's 9.5 points. I mean, shit, we got some 10.5s out there over on FanDuel. And we're looking at a game here where you see, I mean, look, both these teams don't do anything exceptionally well. I guess Fresno State, covers the spread. But again, for me, 68-57. Now, that was a Grand Canyon team that a lot of people are high on. So, listen, they're okay for what it's worth. Grand Canyon came off an L there. They had to bounce back. They did bounce back. They were 4.5-point dogs at Fresno State, at the Dogs. Fresno State's kind of had a tough go of it here. They had New Mexico. They got busted up at New Mexico. That's a tough place to play ball. They did have some nice home wins, though, against Wyoming. They were 3.5-point dogs. They win outright by a 3-pack. They bust up Colorado State by a 10 spot, and it just kind of seems like things went downhill after that. So could this potentially be the bounce back spot? I was tempted. With Air Force. I know 10 points is a lot of fucking points, man. 10.5 points out there. Seems like a good bounce back spot for Fresno State, though. Can I get you on one side or the other of this game, C-Mac?
Not a chance in hell. I'm going to bet these two teams. Just no way. The only thing is with Fresno, I mean, that's why the line's there. I just can't take them. And I can't take Air Force. They've been that bad. I mean, I guess when you look at it, like you have to, when I go through these two teams, like you go through San Jose State, like you got to look at just kind of maybe a Wyoming, like the bottom four in the Mountain West, 3 or 4, because the rest are pretty good teams that we're talking about. So, man, I want, we've talked about Air Force. Maybe this is a day that they could cover. There's just no way. And I don't want to be laying 10. I'm not in that business. I'm not laying 10 on the road with Fresno.
Not with a Fresno State team that you can't fucking trust, right?
This game just seems strange. I mean, they could win by 13 or win by 2. But Air Force is that bad. I've been talking about it. I'm not going to bury them. They're horrible. This is the word. I mean, basketball at Air Force in a long, long time in the last couple of years. Yeah, nothing there. I'm surprised you want to talk about that fucking game. How sick are you bringing that up? You wanted to bring that up just to fuck with me, didn't you? Fresno Air Force. I knew you did.
I'll talk a little Northern Colorado, Eastern Washington, 5.5.
Right.
Now seeing some 5s. Let's get into the business of some overs and some points here. This thing opened at 158.5. We're now seeing 156.5s out there, C-Mac. 5 and 16 be this Eastern Washington side of things here. Northern Colorado, though, this has been, I think you and I can agree, this has been one of them teams that traditionally we like the over, and no surprise, 13 and 6 on the season to the over. Look at their opponents on the Eastern Washington side. They're 13 and 7 to the over. In fact, look, 11 and 3 Eastern Washington on the road. It seems like this Eastern Washington team just doesn't play shit for defense when they get on the road here. And you look at that Northern Arizona is a bad team, and yet they let Northern Arizona put up a 92 spot on them, C-Mac. Can I get you in the over on this Northern Colorado side?
That's the only play, for me in this game is the over. I think even Northern Colorado's team total over, in a spot like this, just because it's been tough for Eastern Washington. You talked about the road play. It's been horrible. This team has been very good all year long. One thing Northern Colorado definitely does, the offense is good. They get easy buckets at home. And this is one of the worst defenses in Eastern Washington. So not only the over, I'd look at Northern Colorado's team total over. Love it.
Couple things to think about when it comes to the Northern Colorado side. And so, C-Mac and I are talking about this one. It seems like a couple of years with these guys. We were laughing about it backstage a little bit. 52 and 24 Northern Colorado overs in this conference play. So it's a pretty substantial sample size to show, not just in the last couple of years, but they pretty much dominated the point scoring and lack of defense out there. After a win, they're 48 and 17 to the over as well. So it's like once this Northern Colorado team gets you have to wait for them to get humming. But once they get humming, they're on their way. So like the over in that spot quite a bit. 156.5 is the Northern Colorado over. I know it's kind of a lofty number, but I think it's lofty for a reason. Onward and upward, C-Mac. Anything else in that 4 p.m. window? Hawaii, Long Beach State. Anything in that window that jumps out to you that you want to touch on here? Because it's kind of it's a meaty little window. I don't want to skip anything.
No. Skip.
I got one for you guys here. Give it to me. Give it to me, baby. We're going to go to West Virginia and Baylor. 4 p.m. -3.5. Now sitting at 2.5s out there. 3,000 tickets in on the sample. So not a ton of cash flow coming in. I told you guys one of my favorite unders, Morgantown. I told you, I've said this before. Tough place to travel to. Sleepy little town, but it's a great college town. They show up, they show out, and it puts the other team kind of on their heels. Total's gone up to 140, or from 140.5 to 138.5. So I like the under, but moreover, I like West Virginia in this spot. I think it's a power play here. A couple things. When you're the home favorite, I guess Baylor, when Baylor's a dog on the road, they fucking suck. The home favorite against Baylor, 16 and 4. It's gone off on a 10 straight winning streak rip. Road dogs, in fact, they're 0 and 12 against the spread, this Baylor side of things here. And, I look at this West Virginia number. I know that the money lines come down. When we see these tight little spots from a 3.5 to a 2.5, you start looking at the money line. It's gone from almost a $2 favorite to around $1.50 or so, $1.45. Maybe a little pause for concern, but I don't know. I'm just not. This Baylor team to me, 4 straight losses, 4 straight spread losses. It doesn't matter if they're getting 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, even in favorite role. I mean, listen, this team's just finding a tough go of it, and they just had a tough defensive battle at Cincinnati. I don't think there's any reason to change tilt with these guys. I think the under's a good look, and I'm going to take the West Virginia -2.5. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I like it. I would take it. This Baylor team is just not good. They're just not very good. They can't make buckets. It's been a struggle to find just a rotation that they really, really like. I mean, it's a little bit. I know Oregon's got injuries. It's just, but tell them these teams can't score. They just can't fucking score. So, I don't mind it at all. There, both looks.
I was relatively heavy early on the card here as it kind of got down the stretch. There were some spots that I was looking at, but like you said, the 4 o'clock.
I'll give you one.
Kind of, yeah.
4 o'clock my time, 7 Eastern here. Let's fast forward. Let me see what I wanted to double check. Yeah, 10.5. I'm on them here. I just don't think this team's that good. And they're just laid too big of numbers. They're 4-4 on the road. Only 2-6 ATS. And I think Lamar's in this game because they slow it down. They bring it to their pace, which look at this under a little bit, which was I was bringing up right around 144. When I see these teams as McNeese is, obviously at the top, I just don't think they're that good of a basketball team that they consistently should be laying numbers like this on the road in conference play. So Lamar's been sneaky. They've been pretty good. They have a few shooters, can space it out. I want them here at home. So I'm on Lamar plus 10.5. I lean to this under as well. But these are ones in these games like this that just you get sloppy. There could be some fouls. You know what I mean? But I lean to this under 144.5.
Get you.
Lamar.
I get down. I pick it up what you're putting down. How about Oklahoma State and Utah? I know it's a 6 p.m. flip, but at 6 p.m. my time, so 3 p.m. your time.
Yeah.
Points. Give me points in this Oklahoma State and Utah business here. It's a 168.5, so it's a lofty number. We had the favorite flip. It was a Oklahoma State coming in as a small road favorite. They're now a road dog. It's gone through that 0. But this kind of had that feeling to me where I was looking at the numbers. I saw a nice little trend. Let me see if I can find it with this Utah Ute side of things here. Utah home games. Utah at home. Maybe it's the elevation. Maybe it's I don't know. 11 straight wins, 11-0 on the since 2025 here. This home team runs fast, runs hot. They lead by points. They're 9-11. They stink. But Points and more points. It's a nationally televised game too over on ESPN2. So I always try to kind of pinpoint some of those games, not to be the big, chalky guy that says, "Oh, Kentucky's playing Kansas. I better get." No, but I just look at this and think you got a team that runs hot. They run fast. They're at home. They're on national television here. Why wouldn't the trend continue and see some points? Oklahoma State, look, for all intent and purpose, they can play with some pace in the favorite role. They're 7-3 to the over. I know they've shifted to the dog, but I kind of benchmarked that based on the opener. And I think this is a team that can keep up with these boys. I don't see any reason why we can't see a fucking 85-80 type of finish. And everyone's like, where did that come from? So I'm going to take the over in this game here. I guess 85-80 might not get us there, but in any event, I like the over 168.5. Seems like it's a big spread for a reason.
That was
agreement.
No, because your math was fucking horrible. Who the fuck?
85-80 is only going to us 165.
Who taught you fucking math here? What are we fucking doing?
Well, I ran out of fingers and toes, dude.
85-80, we're good. No, that's a fucking under. You're crazy, Mike. But I think there's points in this game. So we need it higher than that, 90-85, Well, maybe there. That'll work. There we go. I think that's what you were looking for. 90-85.
I was high on sauce last night. My math didn't math quite right there. It's all right.
It's all good. It's I was just kind of like.
Today, I know that.
Yeah, I think there's points. I would take Utah here. This is flipped. I think for a reason. This is a gettable game for them. And both these teams just don't stop anybody. Like, I mean, these just up and down. That's one thing I think Utah's been playing better. And they're just losing to the better teams. Where it's Kansas, they play BYU. We had them last week, all those points. Remember against BYU, which they were hanging in there. They kind of, towards the last, 6 minutes, gave it up there, lost 91-78. But I think it's a good game. I don't trust Oklahoma State on the road. So, yeah, I think Utah wins outright. And there should be points. Just hopefully it'll get there for you. 90-85. 90-85. 90-85.
90. I'm going to write it down.
Utah.
I'm going to write it down. I'm going to throw a couple dollars on the exact score now that we've prognosticated what that's going to be here. 8 p.m., C-Mac. The barn burner of the evening is UConn and Creighton. Them pesky little Blue Jays playing the Huskies. 6.5 have moved to 7.5. I think it's for good reason. Now, you got 67% of the bets and 62% of the cash coming in on the Husky side of things here. I agree. I think that this is one of those spots where you've got a situation where you've got a team that likes to throw the three ball around, right? Creighton very much they rank first in the Big East when it comes to percentage of total points via the three coming from the three, 36.3% from beyond the arc when they're playing in conference. Then you play a team in UConn who holds 7th best in the nation, not just the Big East, but the nation when it comes to shutting down the three, 28.5%. And they allow the 12th fewest percentage of 3 points being scored out there. So you got a team that, first of all, to me, the matchup kind of cancels out or neutralizes a Creighton team that likes to go out there and shoot the three. Then on top of that, you look at a team that fights in the paint, and that's UConn, right? UConn's one of those teams that gets to the free throw line, sure, but more importantly, they're playing a Creighton team that allows the 3rd highest 2-point rate. So you got a team that should be shut. This is my theory. Team gets shut down. Not my theory, but it's the theory I'm using for this game is a team that can get shut down by 3 and allow a ton of 2s against a team that can go out there and efficiently play from the paint. Blue Jays are 0-4 straight up and against the spread, losing by an average of 20.8 points when they're playing against top 20 opponents out there. So they got a home loss. St. John's ripped them up. 17-point home loss. I think the same thing happens here. I like UConn. I think 6.5 is a fair number to take this UConn team beat the shit out of Creighton. Can I get you there?
Yeah, I mean, I can't take Creighton. I just thirsty young team. They rely on the three ball like you talked about. Yeah, it's nothing I want. So get it, UConn.
We'll take a little UConn action. That was kind of as my evening card ripped up here, 8 p.m. But I know there's one at 8:30 that you had your eyes on. You had the doe eyes for this SEC challenge here between Vanderbilt and Ole Miss. Want to talk to us a little bit about how you're getting paid?
No.
Show us your doe eyes.
Definitely not. And I was just looking at the over. This is a wait for me. I got to wait on this game, so nothing there. You know what I'm gonna take here? It's normally a spot. I've been looking at this team. I've been sitting with this. It's flipped. I agree with it. I don't know if I want to get there. This is Wyoming here at home.
Yeah,
Colorado State.
I'm glad you.
Yeah,
I was just looking at it.
Yeah, I see Colorado State. I just had their team total. I've had a few of their unders. They're just so slow. They just play at snail's pace. And the shooting numbers are good. It was like Utah State. They covered that game. When I was going through it, they shot the ball crazy. And they still lost by 4. Mike just had a horrible second half. They shot 10 of 21 from 3, 22 of 43, 51%, and they lost. They only went 7 or 10 from the free and lost the game by 4. It scored 61 points. How slow are you playing? Just running the clock down. I don't think they can be backed. They just lost and scored 50 points. It's not that I love Wyoming, but these are the spots where I want to back. Wyoming is at home. They have their own struggles, I think, with turnovers and all that. But here at home, it's flipped. They basically got to win now. You look at basically money line. But I think Wyoming could get it done here at home. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm with you. We talked about it. Like the only notable win that Colorado State seems to have on their schedule is Air Force. We just talked about how, Air Force is terrible, right? So, you look at a situation like that and it's like, yeah, I don't know if you can put too many points on this thing. Then you look at one of the favorite. I was just looking at the schedule real quick here to see, is this the revenge spot that I was thinking of?
Is it?
No.
They already played?
Yeah.
No,
maybe
no,
not.
I haven't played yet.
Maybe not. In any event, this is one of those situations where you take a big loss and it's a rebound opportunity, and that is Wyoming. So one of those tricky little situations. They lost to Utah State 94-62. That's getting the brakes beat off you. And college football home favorites after a huge loss, or college basketball home favorites off a huge loss are 5-0. You don't see it very often. Huge loss, you're getting busted up by double digits, and then you roll it right back in and you're a favorite. That kind of tells you, even though you should be buying low on Wyoming at this point, it just tells you that Colorado State's terrible. And it's crazy to say they're terrible. I think their non-conference schedules, what, in my opinion, got them here, because they're still rolling, 12-9. But there's a big game between these two teams in terms of how they rank overall. They're kind of smashed right in the middle of the conference. So I think Wyoming shows up on their home court. I think this is a great opportunity to take Wyoming. I think it's a fair price tag. You can lay the points. I don't even know if you need to. Just take the money line and minus 115 on Wyoming. Yeah.
Yeah. Just take a money line and look to Colorado State, I think, after this. You go from San Diego State, where you just got shut down, which I thought they would, really, too, in the second half. I think they scored 23 points in the second half. Is after this, then you want to look. These are the situational spots by where we look at where we want Wyoming here, and I believe they're back home, right? They play, San Jose State is their next game, and they got a week off here, Colorado State, after this game. Yeah, I think they do. Yeah, they got a bunch of time off. But who wants to go to Laramie? Nobody does. I watch these Mountain West teams. Nobody likes going there, even when Wyoming doesn't have the best, teams. It's it's not. It's cold. Nobody wants to be there. If you're the visitor, that's for sure. Believe me, I know. I've been there before. I've been there.
Josh Allen couldn't wait to get out of there.
Yeah, he's doing fine now. Well, he still ain't gonna win a Super. He hasn't been to the Super Bowl. He's your boy, right? You're a Bills fan. Yeah. Are you more of a Bills fan or an Eagles fan? Or are you just a Josh Allen fan who loses? Okay.
So what's funny is when they drafted, when the Bills, forever I was saying that my teams can't draft shit for quarterbacks. And I made a ton of money on Jalen Hurts in college football. And I made a ton of money. Josh Allen, if you look it up from a spread cover, in college against Wyoming. He was a dog in a lot of spots, and he was able, just because of the way he plays now. He fights. He's a grinder. He'll rush the fucking ball 85 yards if he has to. Team on his back. So he covered a ton of spreads. And when both the Eagles and the Bills drafted those quarterbacks, I was like, wow, I can't believe that they got the quarterbacks that I would have picked for the squads. And whether or not Jalen Hurts is doing what he should be doing or not is not the story here. I'm an NFC guy because of the Bills losing 4 Super Bowls. And true story, I went Bills, family grew up Bills fans. We used to go to a ton of Bills games. I'd go to 3 or 4 every year, and sit in the cold in December when nobody else wanted to go. And after losing 4 Super Bowls, I lost interest in football and became kind of fully a hockey guy. It wasn't until I moved down to Philly that I picked football back up, and it's 2001 rip there for 10 years where they just kicked the shit out of everybody in the NFC. It was Donovan McNabb versus, Michael Vick. And then Michael Vick ends up in Philly as some strange twist of fate. But that got me back into it. Yeah. So I got the AFC team with the Bills and the NFC team with the Eagles.
That was a little sad. That was a little sad there when you're like, I just stopped watching football. I just stopped caring about the Bills. I was like, geez, I just liked hockey. I'm like, man, that's rough. 4 Super Bowls is just lose interest. In your Buffalo Bills.
You go that far just to lose. You never get to taste the sensation of victory out there. Like, all right, fuck it. There's something else on. Let me watch General Hospital, Days of Our Lives.
Wow, Mike, I could see. Let's not even get into that. Here, let's end. If anyone's got a question on a game, put it in the chat here. Let's get to some of these end ones. You know what I liked yesterday? This total's gone down, though, which I thought it was a little bit. Yeah, I thought it might have been a little bit high yesterday. I saw it around 148.5. That's St. Mary's Gonzaga. I've pounded these unders for years with these two teams. It's down to 144. I don't know if there's a lot left at that number, but and one other one here, I already hit on it earlier, is 7-1 at home. I missed them yesterday. I didn't bet it the other day. I think a lot of people are going to love Montana. They're the better team, but I look out here with Sacramento State. Anything late? These late couple games you have or no?
You know, it's funny. You and I were talking about this a little bit last week, I think, and it's like when these later games happen, there's still some things I want to see is kind of find out how the lines move and mature. I talked about the UConn spot there. That's kind of as far as I got down the late card here. But I will say this. I like the under in Auburn and Tennessee, and I'm going to probably take that one earlier than the 8:30 start because it's dropping. It's come down 2 points. And I was just looking at some numbers here. Like, Tennessee for me, I don't know if it's just the style. It's not quite one of those teams that I mentioned, one of my marquee under teams out there, but you kind of look at the way that they come off and over. I had the under in that Georgia game. 86-85 was the final. It was a tightly contested game. The line suggested that, though. It was basically a pick 'em. They're coming back home, but they played Alabama, a fast-paced Alabama team that likes to run and gun up and down the court. They beat them in their own barn, 79-73. And I think if I'm not mistaken, one of the key guys for Alabama was out of that game. But look, they're 3-1 to the over in their last 4, yet they run 17-0 to the under. If they're, less than a 22.5 point favorite, they've got rest and a total over 133.5. So as long as it's not a short number, these guys can find a way to get underneath there. And so I was looking at it now thinking it might end up dropping even more. So I want as many points as I can get and then take the under. I'm going to take the Tennessee under 148.5. All
right. This is dropped. This total's dropped a bunch.
Yeah. 147.5 now at FanDuel and DraftKings. So like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if it ends up being around a 146 by the time we get kicked off here. So I think as many points as you can. Blake M's asking about the UAB game. The Blazers. Yeah. You seem like a Blazers fan. What are we going to have to do to put you on the UAB Blazers here, C-Mac? North Texas? I mean, that's your squad, dude. That is your squad.
Is it my squad? Really? I'm a North Texas fan now?
It seems like every time you and I are on camera, we're talking about North Texas.
Yeah. Maybe it's just these teams. Yeah, maybe in the past. I used to take a lot of their unders. And
that's what it was.
Back in the day. But I think it's a decent spot for North Texas. It's tough for me to trust both these teams, really. What's his face has been out for North Texas, right? Shackelford. He's been out a few games, I believe. Going on like 4 games now.
Well, they're not even really saying what the problem is. He's just out.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah. I think after back-to-back losses, I lean North Texas at home, but I don't know. Seems a little, that's where this line is. It's a little bit of a flip. What do you think? Hit me with it. You want UAB?
No, I don't. In fact, I like this. I like this scheduling spot here where they're coming off of getting busted up on the road. They're coming back home
to Tulsa,
and then you got that UAB team that just beat UTSA. They beat them Roadrunners at UTSA. So it's kind of like here's that second leg of a travel situation coming off. I mean, they were 12.5 point favorite, so it wasn't like it was a big beatdown, but it still was a big win to go on the road here. And I think you're going to find that this team plays that defensive brand of sport that you and I seem to be in the under business with here. And I think North Texas gives them everything they can handle. So I like North Texas coming back home. And if anything, you're selling high to some degree on UAB, even though they came off of a non-cover. So I would lean to the North Texas side of things. I didn't have anything official on it, but it seems like another little money line. It feels like I'm perpetually on North Texas money lines. Doesn't matter what sport it is. They have a hockey team down in North Texas?
That's a great question. I have no fucking idea. If UAB, I mean, they want to be in it, it might lead to it. And I just don't have enough, I think, to move on this total is just their shooting. They do get to the free throw line. You know what I mean? They're able to kind of get inside and get, fouled and get there. I think the kind of spots for North Texas, I just don't know if I love it. Crazy about it. Been crazy about these offenses at all.
crazy about some unders in some North Texas, you guys. We're going to get CMAC in North Texas
Yeah.
for Christmas.
Hey, they made me a lot of money there for a minute, you know?
All right, tell
Right
us
here,
about
Arkansas,
1984.
Kentucky. Hit it. What?
Arkansas. I said, tell us about 1984.
Nothing. I just got it. You know, I'm an 80s kid, not 1984, but I forget why I just got it. Wasn't there a book, 1984? I haven't read it, but Ramon Scott should fill us in. He probably knows about 1984.
The actual year 1984 and what it's all about. I didn't get
He was
involved in
alive.
that.
He was alive then. He's alive then, so he can tell us about it. Yeah, hit us with Arkansas, Kentucky.
I'll ask him. I'll have to ask him about it here tonight for the UFC stream. And if there's anything, Ramon, if you're there listening, do your homework. We want to know about 1984 tonight. I would lean to the pigs in this thing. 6.5. It's moved to 7s in some books out there. 49% of the bets, 74% of the cash though, does qualify as some sharper betting coming in on this hog side of things. Then you look at the total, and that's not moving. You got 57% of the bets and 62% of the cash on the under. Not a movement out there from two pretty even teams. Look, I just think I think the Hogs are surprisingly, sneakily underrated, if that makes sense. And it's maybe because they're overshadowed with some of the teams like Tennessee and Georgia and so on here. But these guys like to cover spreads. They're 14-7. And then you put them at home, they're 10-4. It's a tough place to travel. And I think they're getting this line for a reason. Plus, they're coming off a big win against that Oklahoma team. Yeah, they were favored to win, but they covered in that spot as well. Problem is,
barely sneaky.
They show up they don't show up next.
Yeah. I don't know what we did.
They did douse Vanderbilt 93-68. That was a beating, and that was a team that you and I kind of talked a little bit about there. Kind of like this Vanderbilt team a little bit, and they beat the shit out of them. So I think Arkansas is a good. You know what? That might be a later ad here for me as well. I'm going to look more at that game as we get closer to it, but 6.5 points seems like a fair number. That seems like the right number.
Do you think Kentucky's going to get drilled again, back-to-back road games?
I mean, I root for that. That's the kind of guy.
Yeah, I mean, hey, you're that kind of guy. Okay, you know, hey, that's you, bro.
And when I pop up the ESPN app the next day, I'm looking. Even if I didn't have money on them, I'm like, oh, good, they lost. So I think we see a faster paced game, though. I think if Kentucky's going to be in this game, they gotta be throwing the ball around there. They got to put a bunch of points up. They got to do it early. Probably the over is not a bad look for this side of things, knowing that Arkansas can compete. Probably in the first half they compete. And I think Kentucky, and I think Arkansas pulls away in the second half. But I don't have any stats to show how they play first half versus second half. I just think they're going to wear you down. Kentucky can be competitive early, but unless they're putting a bunch of threes on the board, they're going to be in trouble. My thought.
Yeah. Well, final question here. Since our guy Blake hit it up. David Lee Roth, Sammy Hagar. Who are you with? Van Halen.
Oh, dude.
Which side?
Oh, man.
He said, oh, man.
I got to go to the Cabo Wabo. Give me Cabo Wabo here. I went to that bar when I was down in Mexico, and the panties hanging from the ceiling gets me every time, man. You know, so I think they took all the panties that were thrown at them on stage over time, and they hung them from the ceiling of that bar down there in good old Mexico. And I'll go with it.
You've had a few nights there.
You know what I'm talking about. You pick it up when I'm putting down. 1984. Now we solved the 1984 problem has been solved. Ramon, take a break.
All right,
good
that
job.
is it. Let's get out of here.
The rip. We'll get more organized for you guys in the future. Here, we're still figuring out. We're getting our sea legs underneath us, but give you guys a bunch of basketball to consider. There's plenty of games underway. C-Mac, tell them what's up. Tell them where they can find you. And yes or no, we'll see you on the live UFC stream tonight. Go ahead.
Wow. Yes or no? Like what? You want to give a percentage here?
50-50?
For us? Yeah, I don't know. I was going to say 30-70. 30%.
Oh,
that might be there.
Jesus,
hey,
is fading.
That means I'm showing up. Anyways, because I'm so low there, 30%. Okay, that's it. Just Connor Mack picks. Go to Hitting the Books. And And that's it. Check me out. I don't need to do all the fun stuff. Hit up your stuff.
Yeah, you guys know the deal. Live show tonight. We're going to be live, popping off 5 p.m. We're going to pop off.
What's the best bet? What's the best bet, real quick, for you?
For the UFC?
UFC.
I got to do a little more research on the card.
All right. I was trying to give people what you want here. But show up to this live stream.
You want a little taste of something here? I'll give you. I think Volkanovski wins I think what happens in the main event. Best bet for me is the fight doesn't go the distance in the main event. Volkanovski and Lopez, whatever. And I'll give you one more that I'm looking at here. A little something. I like Mauricio Ruffin. Now he's a small favorite, so it's not really like I'm putting myself out there on a limb. Fiziev, this guy battles hard, but there's an underlying factor going on here. I can't stand the fighting nerds. I hate I don't hate every one of them, but I can't stand them for whatever reason. I think it's Barholo's fault there that I can't stand the fighting nerds. But Ruffy just left the fighting nerds. Just like 2 days ago. And he made the announcement during the UFC prelim show here, the pre-fight earlier this week, the conference there that they have.
Yeah.
He said he was leaving the fighting nerds, and immediately John Silva unfollows him on fucking Twitter and social media. And so there's some controversy going on. And I think that dude's going to go out there. He's not a big takedown guy, but I think he's going to go out there and ruffle some feathers, and he's got a little chip on his I don't know where the chip came from, but he can be complacent, try to use his power, but I think that's what happens here. I think he goes out there and beats up Fiziev. So there you go. There's two looks for you guys. Fight doesn't go the distance in the main, and I like Mauricio Ruffy. Somehow put a chip on his own shoulder. Can you put a chip on your own shoulder, C-Man?
Yeah. Put a chip on my shoulder and let's get the fuck out of here. Watch the UFC stream tonight, baby.
5 p.m. Eastern. They moved it up. It's 13 fights. They'll be at the Land Down Under. We'll be on the stream for over 6 hours with you guys watching the live UFC, talking about all those late night college basketball games, NBA, NHL. We'll probably get into the Olympics. We'll talk some PGA golf. I'm sure we'll talk NASCAR. Talk it all here tonight with you guys. So we'll see you then. On behalf of Mickey Mac Daddy, thank you guys for checking us out.